I think everything that my grandmother wanted to achieve when she took this huge responsibility on, she's managed. No one could have predicted how the world was going to change in such a short space of time, especially with the digital space. But hearing you guys, knowing the broad spectrum that the QCT sort of engulfs, you guys are the definition of the 21st century Commonwealth and what it means to be part of it. You know, you are there standing for equality, for mutual respect, and for fairness. And I think that is something that every single one of you should be incredibly proud about.
Yeah, it's very true. And I think, you know, from my standpoint, being newer to the world of the Commonwealth, right? I lived in Canada for several years, but it wasn't until joining the family and that I was able to meet so many young people throughout the Commonwealth. If they came with a question, they always offered a solution. Yeah. And that's what I think is so inspiring, and, you know, why I'm incredibly proud to be able to work with the Queen's Commonwealth Trust, but why, you know, it's the continuation of the legacy of your grandmother.
The solutions is the most important thing. I learned in the army, don't come to the table with a problem unless you've got a solution. And I think this platform that you guys have created is it's just optimistic, right? It's so positive, and that's exactly what you guys need, because there is a lot of negativity out there. There's a lot of noise. The experts have described it as an attention economy, which is basically just a shouting match, and it's sort of benefiting the wrong people. But with social media and the way that it can help so many individuals and groups be able to improve, be able to connect, and be able to focus on the things that really matter and the things that bind us rather than the things that divide us. Yeah.
No, that's really powerful. So that's exactly what this is all about, finding purpose and meaning. And certainly with Rosie, just really coming to you first of all to talk about what drives you, what you've seen in the work that you've done with Project Rocket, and why creating safe spaces online in the community is so important.
The vision that I share with you has been criticised as lofty over the years, but I think my answer to that is actually that we're working on it, and that it is a work in progress, and that we see every day that world emerging, and we see hate being smothered and called out. And we see that we've reached hundreds of thousands of young people. And I think when you mobilize young people with empathy and to connect each other, you know, you lift that veil of anonymity that exists online. And frankly, it's incredible what is created. And also just acknowledge that these are social issues. They're age old, that if we only blame technology platforms, or we just throw blame at technology altogether, then we're actually removing our own ability as humans to intervene and make a difference. The moment we're scrolling down our phone and we see something horrendous about someone else or a group of people, we have a moment in that time, a tiny moment, to keep scrolling or to do something about it. And so we want to mobilize a group of young people, and in fact, a world that does something about it in the tiny moments, not just the really big ones when everyone's watching and your name is attached to something. We are building a next generation of young people that are essentially united and ready to tackle hate. They're sick and tired, like the kid I was when I started Project Rocket. And we see now COVID has pushed us online even further. We don't have a choice anymore. And really what we're seeing is the power of social media. You know, voices, historically voices who have been suppressed and oppressed, that are getting to speak out. You know, we're tackling some of the biggest issues so much quicker and with an accelerated pace online. So I think for us, it's really about reorienting the spotlight away from the minority of people that are actually doing the wrong thing, and on to the majority of people that are doing the right thing. And instead of that, creating a better world. Let's shine a spotlight on those guys.
I think, Rosie, you hit such a good point. I would love to know what your technique is for bearing in mind there is a lot of division, there's a lot of hate, but the people that are probably saying, oh, this is lofty, are the people that, you know, benefit from the way that it is now, because their voices, because they're able to project probably a lot of their own pain across these platforms onto other people. But what are the techniques? How can you acknowledge or shut down hate in an instant without sharing it or without fueling it?